Yo, what's the word out here, man? I've been seeing a lot has been going on, and excuse me, but it's not even been 2 months since I told you about what happened to Hot 97, and now I'm looking at the news, and all of a sudden, Ebro is out of a job. Yo, what is This is a domino effect, man. And like I said before, I don't know what the leadership there is at Hot 97, but clearly, a lot of people felt like there had to be a lot of changes, and so there is. And welcome to Steph Saucy Talk, as I have woken up and had to come on this broadcast yet again today to talk about the downfall of these radio stations. I don't get it, but I have to get it because this is what we need to talk about. My name is Steph Saucy. Some call me Steph, others call me Saucy, but you know how we do. You can check me out each and every week, Steph's Game Picks, where I talk about NFL game picks, or you can check out my Steph's Bitcoin Report. Not only that, the BMW M3, if you know about the legend that is the M, I have one myself. You can check it out on Steph's M Life playlist. But look, man, I don't need to talk about none of that because right now we got some very earth-shattering news that hit the hip-hop media landscape as Ebro in the morning. Yes, I said that. Again, Ebro in the morning with Peter Rosenberg and Laura Stiles have been canceled. Not they didn't renegotiate a contract. They're out sick. They're temporary leave. You know, the radio station is rebranding. No, they got canceled. Wow. Friday was their last day. And look where we are here today talking about this situation. But no. It just doesn't go without it being a quiet news. No, it could never be quiet. Because not only do you have the world, New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, wherever you're from in the Northeast area, if you listen to morning radio, you know they're on from 6 to 10. I think it was 5 to 11 when they had their hours changed. But no, an infamous personality, a.k.a. Meat Rider, Akademiks, has something to say about the situation. We're going to get to that. And not only that, Akademiks person that he rides, Drake. Drizzy Drake has something to say about this news. We're going to get into all that today. But I have one question before I start. Where is the hip-hop landscape going? Where are we looking at? Are we turning away from traditional media outlets? Are we focusing on getting our news from these goofies on these internet spaces? These are the hip-hop journalists we have to look forward to? Not the people that put their time, effort in years and years over a course of period of time, which knowingly they know what they're talking about. We don't listen to them no more. They're not credible anymore. We just let them go. Okay. I'll tell you what I think. Not now, but later on in the show. So here we are, guys, today on another broadcast about the inevitable downfall of Ebro in the morning. And you know what? Props to Ebro, man. Props to him going out like one Negro I know. A spliff in his mouth, glasses on, talking about why they've been coming for him for months. And he showed us. He showed us in the Instagram video. I'm going to show you, if you didn't check that out, why they were coming for him, and ultimately the next moves are, why this eventually happened to him, so forth and so on. Like and subscribe to the channel too, by the way, as we gonna be rolling today. Oh man, this is crazy, but this is great content for the head top. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to talk about this stuff, man. Because hip hop, man, it's a changing landscape. It doesn't matter who the artist is. It doesn't matter who the record label is. It's all about PPD. Promotion, production, and distribution. You got those three things, you can sell anything. Just keep that in mind, guys, as we continue to talk about what's going on in the hip-hop world as Ebro is officially canceled. And moving to where we at right now, YouTube. So if you want to listen to his exclusive rhetoric, his exclusive content, Ebro said he has a channel right now on YouTube that you can go check out. All right, guys. So look, let's get to the basis of it all. Ebro in the Morning was a morning radio show, in case you didn't know, that aired on Hot 97. And morning radio is different from, the regular time slots that we got in radio throughout the whole day. Remember, radio is 24/7. So when we think about morning, we think about getting up, your cup of coffee, you out going to work, taking your kids to school, you're opening up your store, you're going to college, you're going to class, wherever you may be going. Morning radio fulfills that void, that block in your day for an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, whatever long you're in your car or if you're on your streaming app. So for them to take away Ebro, which it's not a syndicated brand, by the way, compared to the Breakfast Club. And they just signed another deal, which I'll talk about too in a minute. But no, they're not that at all, guys. They are a local-based New York City radio show, which obviously New York City is a broad landscape that covers all the 5 boroughs. So look, this is not this hickey radio station. So Hot 97 is a big brand. We all know this, but for Ebro and him, we'll get to the video as we upload it right now, to come out and say that this is bigger than ratings. This is bigger than audiences. This is all about essentially what the CEO of the radio station. Now, Hot 97 is not owned by themselves. They're owned by a firm, Wall Street firm. And as Ebro is about to say in this video I'm about to play for you, that they are a place, or rather he should say a CEO, one specific guy that's the CEO. I met the CEO once at the radio station, but they changed radio station owners again. And you know how the corporation shit goes. It goes from CEO, one thing to another. It's the same thing at the end of the day. How can we make money? And according to Ebro, he's saying that his show was in the way of them making money, as we're about to get to a video according to this source, All Hip Hop TV, right here on YouTube. Let's hear what Ebro has to say, and I'll break it down as it goes.
Make sure you subscribe to Ebro in the Morning on YouTube. Told y'all a couple of weeks ago when they tried to run that Andrew Cuomo play on me. Remember that shit? And then they tried, when the Trumpster got in office. Listen, man, I don't capitulate well, bro. Been doing this too long. If you look around all the major media outlets, man. All of them. Look at all of them. They all got to fold up because they all trying to renew their deals, their licenses.
That's a big key right there, guys. In case you don't know about that type of stuff, we're talking about media outlets, TV outlets. They're all ending to the new year, trying to lock down different things. If you didn't know, Netflix is in a bidding war with Paramount right now to buy Warner Bros. Just in case you didn't know, I'm just putting that out there. But good point by Ebro right here. Let's continue to keep it going.
Well, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time. Bro's a casino owner. You know those 3 licenses that they got here in New York City for the casinos? The guy that owns the shit owns one of the casinos licenses. He got to raise $500,000, bro. $500 million, excuse me. They need my shit talking anti-Netanyahu, anti-government, progressive shit out the way, bro.
Once again, let me hop in and interject on this comment by Ebro. When he's talking about that bro, he's talking about his boss, the ultimate CEO of this company that owns Hot 97 WBLS. Yes, those type of people are trying to make money. And by pushing Ebro out the way, it looks bad. Not bad, excuse me. It looks good for him because his CEO friends and all people in the corporate world that see Hot 97 as a brand, they don't want to see Ebro and his rhetoric in front of that brand because it tarnishes it. So for them, they can't make no money off of that. So now by taking Ebro out the way, it gets them one step closer to getting back those vendors, getting back those sponsorships. Because remember, these Hot 97 summer jams are not the same anymore. They're not selling out. They don't have the brand backing them. So they need that. Just for clarification, just in case you didn't know what he was talking about, I just clarified it for you. Back to it. Let's go.
They need me out the way. They trying to get to these bags that these VCs got, raise some capital.
VC's venture capital, by the way.
They don't really care, like, especially for like a Hot 97 and a WBLS. They don't give a fuck about hip hop or black music or black community. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They give a fuck about access. They give a fuck about being able to bring their little nerdy friends to the concerts because that helps them raise money. They've been trying to get to me for years, bro. Years. But, you know, Ebro in the morning on the YouTubes. Subscribe. And we'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shayla!
What did I say, man? What a way to go out. You know that old saying? You ain't got to go anywhere, but you got to get the hell out of here. And that's what they pretty much did to him, bro. They completely upended his objective, his goals for the radio station, and said, you got to get up out of here. And look at him now. Blunt in his mouth, shades on. What way to go out than to go out like that? Getting high and taking it and talking your shit, bro. Yo, this shit is hilarious to me, man. But that's pretty much it for that video is concerned. We'll get to more of Ebro in a second. But you see right there, people ultimately what led to his downfall is his rhetoric. Anti-Netanyahu, if you know, is real. And the progressive views. Obviously not being for Trump. And what Trump believes this country should stand for. He believes otherwise. So look, if we really talking real shit, man, you cannot do this on these platforms. Any company that you work for and you feel like you have your own idea and own intention to talk your shit, and they tell you this is not what we want to be perceived as, you got to get up out of here, bro. Do that shit somewhere else. And now, as you see, Ebro is going to the YouTubes now and trying to get his opinion across that way. That is the right way to approach it. Stop letting these companies censor your content, bro. If you can't own it, you should not speak. And that goes to a lot of all of these other personalities out here that think they have a voice in something. Oh, you just there temporarily. They can cut you at any time if it doesn't align with their viewpoints. So they told him get up out of here, man. Hey, look. Can you blame the company for doing so? Yes, it's a harsh way to go out. Yes, it's holiday times. Yes, we get that. People got families to feed, yada, yada. But it doesn't reflect their views once again. So you got to do it on your own. If nobody can't do it for you, you got to do it on your own. And that's what I took away from this whole situation going down. But that not is only the thing we got to get to. We got to get to these comments. These comments by no other than meat-loving academics. Shit. Meat lover. Hey, yo. He need a meat lover academic supreme pizza. That's what he needs. You ain't no damn DJ. But let's get to academics. Comments on Ebro. Because he is such a Drake rider, man. Literally, he rides Drake all day, every day. Oh my gosh. Let's go to Instagram. Let's go to this reel. Let's see what Akademiks is talking about. Because you know he's entertainment too, by the way. He is Drake, Drake, Drake all day, every day. As he defends Drake's comments, which I'm going to show you what Drake said in the comments for Ebro being canceled in just a second. Let's see what Akademiks has to say.
This nigga came in here. They said Ebro usually up in Apple, throwing his weight around, talking to people like they're scum and dirt beneath his shoes. Just like how he played the video of him talking down to rappers at Hot 97 like it was his program. I brought you up here. It's me. I did this. I gave you a chance. I'm the reason you could have food for your family. That's how he was talking. I heard that's how he was giving it up at Apple as well. Not today. Today, he showed up, from what I was told, 2 hours early. He sat quietly in the lobby. He basically had his corporate voice on, and he was doing something that I've heard. And by the way, the Hot 97 bosses hit me up too. They said, y'all were mailing it in.
Wait, hold up. Akademiks is getting Hot 97 bosses hitting him up now? Oh, shit. You see, this is why this guy's bank account keeps thriving. Because we turn to Akademiks as the voice for the culture. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to say this again. Do not get me wrong. The shit that Akademiks, the info he be getting, is facts. Let's not get that confused. He gets a lot of factual information. But you gonna give it to this nigga? Oh, man. Let's continue.
Y'all were lazy, and basically y'all were pulling a highway robbery, collecting a check while doing nothing. Y'all stopped going to events. Y'all stopped doing everything. And apparently, ever since the pandemic, and by the way, this is why, I know y'all be talking about that right-wing shit. Of course y'all don't fuck with niggas like Trump. Because ever since the pandemic, y'all didn't want to go back to work. Y'all want to do it from home.
Sounds like a MAGA supporter right there. Clearly evident. Let's keep going.
They refuse to go in the studio when the rent is sky high. So they're not going to events. They're not going to outreach programs. They're not doing nothing. They wouldn't shoot new promos, take new pictures. They would only want guests that could appear on Zoom. Essentially, the new bosses says, why the fuck are we... Yo, they're doing a show like they're doing a fucking business call on Zoom. Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
The words from Akademiks there, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking on behalf of the CEOs of the companies. Damn, you see that access to information, man. That access he gets consistently. But don't get me wrong. Like I said, when I was at BLS, they would be in the studio half on and on. Like every other day, someone would take off and they will come in, fill in that seat, or they'll do it from home. He is right about that. But now we starting to get into the Trump situation where you're talking about New York City rent sky high. You start going on this and that. Man, stop eating they meat, bro. Like this guy thrives off of this type of attention. And let's get to what Drake ultimately, had to say. Because this right here was crazy. Because now we're looking at leaked DMs that Ebro showed about what Drake said. The caption reads, Drake tells Ebro to die slower than leaked DMs. Because ultimately, Ebro has not been a fan of Drake in the Kendrick battle. Obviously, he feels Kendrick has won. So Drake never takes heed to anyone going against him. Look at the song he made. What did I miss? And clearly, Drake missed the fact that eventually this was going to happen. You didn't see that coming, did you, Drake? So now Drake is hot. He is hot at this situation about the battle. So this was recent, not recent, but a few years ago, DM from Drake. However, recent DMs from Drake at 3:30 in the morning take much more sinister turn. This was allegedly all the way back in 2020. Die slower, pussy. Drake wrote, "We got some shit for you." So was that what Drake was heading to now? Them getting fired? Wow. Wow. That must have been inevitable. Because why said we got some shit for you? And now that shit is reflecting Ebro now. He's out of a job. Well, for the radio station. So when I say Drake is very methodical, the most methodical rapper, I mean that shit, bro. He takes jabs here, and here, but then ultimately, if you go against him, he's coming for you. He's gunning for you. This right here is evidence. He was gunning for him. Yo. And what was Ebro's response? Relax. You're salty about losing to Kendrick. You're not mad at me. Love, bro. You done fucked yourself, Ebro. That right there, you done fucked yourself. Because now, when we think about this from back then till now, that right there is a bad look. Because, not only have they been going back and forth about this whole Kendrick, Drake, he's done. He shouldn't have did the lawsuit. Look at this shit. Drake, in a few words, said not much, but it meant a lot. So everything's starting to trickle down now. So that's why I'm trying to figure out where should we be heading moving forward, looking at the media personalities. Are the radio stations not credible as much as a person like Akademiks now? Because he can go on Twitch, he can Twitch to a 300 or whatever, something thousand subscribers he has, and everyone's going to believe what he says. So, is that what we believing in now? This is crazy. As you can see, I just paused there for a second. Because what we're seeing right now is artists, ultimately, their word means more than the media personalities. The media personalities are supposed to comment on the music, comment on the promotion, comment on who is representing you, the tour, the merch, everything. This is what we do. So you're telling me we don't need these jobs anymore? That whoever owns these companies, all they care about is the money, as Ebro has mentioned to you. Then so it be it then. We all going to have to do it on our own. And I'm going to also mention to you guys that I'm looking at a new social media website. Fanbase. Look it up. For Blacks, created by Blacks. Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes the third, by the way. In case you didn't know. The musician, yeah, his son is doing that. So pay attention, guys. The landscape is shifting. Landscape is shifting. So what do we have here now? An unemployed Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles Rosenberg. And a backstory of not only that, we got Funk Flex. You remember him? I talked about him. His slot changed from not 7 o'clock, how he bamboozled us thinking that he was going to quit the radio. No, he's from 5 to 11. But not only that, guess what you're going to hear in the morning on Hot 97? Ding, ding, ding. Funk Flex. Now you're going to hear not only Flex, not once a day, but twice a day. This, look, it's right here. Funk Flex takes over Ebro's Hot 97 slot after In the Morning. You kidding me, bro? So not only do we get content no longer in the morning, we just get music, bombs, yelling, screaming, all that. Twice a day. What has happened to the radio, man? This is crazy, bro. Outrageous. And as I talked about the fellow DJ Akademiks, here he is again in another headline. DJ Akademiks prescribes ayahuasca for Ebro and Peter Rosenberg after they labeled Drake a right wing. As I mentioned to you, Akademiks is a Drake lover. He's a meat lover. He's an Akademiks Supreme pizza lover where he has Drake nuts in his mouth. The Supreme Lover Supreme Pizza available only at Pizza Hut. Yo, I can't, man. I gotta chill out with that. Okay, DJ Akademiks reacts to Ebro and Peter Rose calling Drake right wing after celebrated their cancellation of 997. Let's continue.
It's not Drake. It's not even me. You guys kept getting raises and couldn't produce. It's a simple bottom line thing. Now, look at this guy try to cope. And I don't know, was he talking about me here, Tat? To the most loving thing a hater could do. Oh my God. Yo, this is why Ebro needs some ayahuasca. Because remember how Kendrick...
Oh, I said that wrong. Ayahuasca. That's what I mispronounced.
Was trying to prescribe to Drake. He says the lack of self-awareness. The lack of self-awareness for Ebro is like astounding. The fact that Ebro would call someone else a hater. Go look back at the history. I've never hated on Ebro. Ebro was one of the niggas online saying Akademiks don't deserve a platform. Akademiks, why is he a thing in the culture? Drake is a cancer. Why do these guys have that? Why do these guys get this? These guys are undeserving. It's funny when the hater is calling other people haters. It says wake up at 6 a.m. and spend 2 hours on you. Yeah, and I'm doing it again. Well, not 2 hours this time. Now this one took me out.
This is what we're gonna get to right now. This comment right here. Let's see what Ak has to say.
So Kirko posted, which Drake had replied with an axe.
This is the comment I was telling you about that Drake responded with Ebro being canceled. Akademiks responds as the meat lover he is. Let's listen.
And Drake, and Kirko says, Drake leaves a comment under a post about Ebro in the morning show getting canceled. And it was just an emoji, axe. You don't even know what it means. But I'll be cryptic like Ebro. Because I talked to Drake about it. More will be revealed later. Okay. Alright, okay.
See, this is what I don't understand, bro. These two guys, Drake and Akademiks. As he just mentioned, Drake gave him information on what the axe meant in the cryptic message that he posted once Ebro in the morning got canceled. You see, but Akademiks, he's got his head so far up Drake's ass that he doesn't see the bigger picture, bro. Drake is giving you information. What has Drake elevated you? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, yo, for years, Akademiks has been riding with Drake, down for Drake, by his side type of Drake. And once again, it's just an axe. It doesn't mean much. It means a lot. Anytime Drake said something online to people that hates him, it means something. Let's not forget that shit, bro. I'm not even going to get into the rest of the video because Akademiks can go on and on and on about him and Drake and about Ebro and his reason why he got canceled, yada, yada, yada. So I'm about to get to the end of this broadcast because I already laid out to you about what Ebro did, how he got canceled, why that's a big thing, and now the hip-hop media landscape now. What direction are we heading into as I ask you again? Well, as we know, right now, the older generation of radio hosts and people that we looked up to as reliable sources, mind you that, are starting to fade out. Yes, as time goes on, a younger generation comes in, they take over, they use their knowledge, their smarts. I'm speaking for myself too, right? Because I'm no longer in the radio space. I'm in my own element space right now. So what does that mean for the radio stations moving forward? Do you not want people to be educated on the radio aspect? Do you want us to just be robots? I don't want to be a robot. I want to be someone that can come on a platform, talk what I have to talk, stand by what I say, believe it, and don't let no one rattle me for what I have to say. Because that's what all news reporting is, being a journalist is, getting the information, dissecting it to your best ability, and giving people the facts. So from now on, we are turning to, it seems like, listening to DJ Akademiks, this person, that person online, just because they have a podcast, just because they have a social media influence, and that's it. That's the future we see. Moving forward. It's no longer about, yo, can I get into the radio station, man? You know, I want to just get this opportunity, man. For a lot of the younger generation, they don't even listen to a radio. Who's on what time, what hour, what slot? What they playing? The same shit? People don't want to hear that no more. It's the reason why people like Ebro in the morning have to take a new path now. Because it doesn't suit the company's purpose. And if it doesn't suit the company's purpose, it shouldn't suit your purpose. So I hope you took away something from this broadcast today. This is Steph Saucy Talk. Some call me Steph, some call me Saucy. And this is the back and forth that we're going to continue to keep saying in the hip-hop space now that Ebro's out. Funk Flex is in on the morning now. And if I'm not mistaken, Jonesy in the morning on 94.7 The Block got canceled. Ed Lover 2. And now the Breakfast Club, they didn't get canceled. Guess what they signed? They fucking signed a Netflix deal, man. iHeartMedia and Netflix now have a deal. It's crazy, man. They're still alive and running because they know what side they're on and they're a very syndicated brand. That is the type of company they want to keep paying their people and keeping them going because the brand is so globally known. How could you fire these guys? That is an example that we should be looking at. Breakfast Club still going strong. Don't get me wrong. You take away Charlamagne the God, there probably is no Breakfast Club anymore. But there will always be Breakfast Club because it's owned by iHeartMedia. So take this from me, man. If you're a creator like myself, stick to your grind, stick to your goals, man. And ultimately, believe in you first and foremost. Because no one else will believe in you if you don't believe in you. And that's what we have to do, man, heading into 2026, man. Have that type of energy because this right here is a sign that it can happen to us. At any given time, any given space. Because these companies don't give a fuck. Alright? So stay tuned. We got more content coming all year long. End of this year until next year. It's from Steph's Bitcoin Report, Steph's Game Picks, and Steph's M Life playlist. Or whatever else I'm going to talk about. Stay tuned with me each and every time I get on this broadcast. Alright? We'll talk next time. Peace.